But I'm just talking about the one that comes to have a good time with his people. Tell the corny jokes. Can lie about stuff and you be like, nah, it ain't even true. Everybody know it ain't true, but it's so funny that we ain't gonna tell him it ain't true because it's funny. I love the way he just told that story. But in your mind, you like, nah, I know that ain't true. But it's okay. Let Uncle Charlie lie. Let him lie right now. It don't matter. He gonna go back to telling the truth tomorrow when he go to work. He gonna go back to telling the truth when he in his normal environment. He got to deal with that in an hour. So maybe this is the break that he or she needed to be able to deal with all that other stuff they got to deal with. So as we having these parties and gatherings and get together, don't forsake yourself of going. But also, if you are doing it, don't forget to invite Uncle Charlie. Don't forget to invite Peggy. Precious or whatever name I was using, I don't know, but whoever that is in your family that act like Uncle Charlie on the female side, make sure they come too. Because it's memories. All you doing is building memory. And you, as the cool 20, 30-year-old, y'all might not see it right now, but you will see it in the future if you're not that Uncle Charlie. But you will see it. And more importantly, if you have kids, your kids will have those memories. Your kids will. I got memories of being a child and having uncles or aunts come over, and I remember them being just crazy, just doing stupid stuff. And it's like, yo, that was wild. But I'm sure at the time, my parents or whatever, they probably was looking at it a little differently because I can't believe they so embarrassing. Because they was a little bit trying to be a little bit more, in line with what should be. But as a child, that memory was just fun. Yo, my uncle coming over and he taking off his shoe, stinking up the whole house. It was funky, but it was hilarious. Watching them put his shoes out on the porch and then it rained on his shoes, that was hilarious. Those are memories that we don't get if Uncle didn't come through. So the fact that they allowed him to come, even though he was going to do something that wasn't pleasing, yo, sometimes we just deal with that. So I'm not saying you invite people, toxic people, or people that's going to start fights and all the crazy. Some of them don't need to come to your house. Some of those uncles, aunts, friends, cousins, whatever, leave them out. But the one that's just having a good time and just happy to be around his or her family, yo, even if they're a little silly at times, even if they keep on looking at you and be like, yo, I remember when, like I said, I'm 6'2". I haven't been little, and most of my uncles are much smaller than me. They little, like 5 something. So it ain't like but they still remember when I was little. They be like, I remember when, boy, I used to, toss you around my knee. Boy, I couldn't sit on your knee since I was 14, 13, 12 years. I probably was taller than most of them, about 13 years old. But in reality, that's their memory of me. That's that love that they have because they still go back to that. Because of the love they had for my mom, the love they had for my dad, whatever the case may be that made us connected in that way. And I still remember, I got an uncle where I remember, and again, I was 4 maybe, and I still remember him coming to our house. He used to drive trucks, and we used to play in the back of his truck. I was 4 years old. But imagine if they didn't let him show up or told him, yo, you can't be coming over here or this or that. I would never have that memory. Like I said, the memories are what we're making during this holiday season. And again, no toxic memories. I ain't talking about that. I'm just talking about silly fun. Just silly fun. And some of y'all need silly fun in your life. You need to be silly. You need to have fun. You just need to laugh where you can be deep down laughing, crying, you laughing so hard. When's the last time y'all laughed so hard y'all had tears falling from your face? Probably been a long time because most of y'all too uptight. When's the last time you had your brother or your sister, go back and reminisce about something you did and you were just like, yo, that was so crazy. I remember that days. I remember we was up all night tripping. Do y'all talk about that? Do y'all have that in your life? So again, memories, people. We just build, life is just, we're just building memories as we go through life. And hopefully when you 100 years old or whatever, and you sitting on your porch, and maybe you can't move like you used to, but you can remember the time when, even when you're alone, you can remember a time when you weren't alone. You can remember a time when Uncle Charlie made the whole house laugh. Uncle Charlie sang a song so off key that we just fell out, couldn't stop laughing for a week. You remember when. That's all we doing is building memories. So let's try to build those memories, hold on to those memories, and allow our family to be who they are in that moment